Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hiya. Hey,
It's Kadeja,
and I'm Taylor.
and this is the Degrassi Authority.
So, guys,
So we decided that we needed to
we need to
make
clarify some things.
a video to clarify some things. Yes.
Sorry.
She's a little heated already.
Yeah. Because I feel like there's some controversy surrounding our little vlog.
Yeah, I mean, like we're getting a lot of love, but we came across a little bit of hate.
Yeah, we just want to clarify because we just want them to know.
We know that not everybody's gonna love us,
Yeah.
but their hate seemed very misguided, so we needed to just explain
We gotta
some things
we gotta
before people.
clarify.
Yes, before people,
Yeah.
misjudge before they fully know where we stand. And,
Now, I feel like
you know.
a lot of people don't realize we have a very strong stance on Degrassi relationships.
yeah, as a whole.
As a whole,
As a
every
whole.
single, pretty much every single relationship that has crossed these Degrassi hallways
Mhm.
since Emma was in middle school. Okay?
Yes, and it mainly comes. Part of it comes from us when we watch TV shows, anything that we watch, TV shows, movies, commercials,
Yes.
even like we'll get
we
heated
literally
over
were
commercials.
talking about commercials.
We're very real. We want things to be very realistic in the
Well-
things that we're watching.
If you watch TV with us, you will hear us
If
say,
you've heard our comments, the little things we point out are
Yeah.
usually like,
Over-
"Wait,
yeah.
why are you here? That doesn't make sense."
the
Like,
most heard phrase between both of us is, "That's not realistic."
Yeah, exactly.
You will hear, "That's
not
not
going to happen in
realistic."
real life. Like,
Over and over, and that is a problem. I feel like with these Degrassi relationships.
yeah.
Um,
Right now, we're very pro Ben Dallas,
Mhm.
and it's mainly because we see them as a real relationship. They didn't
We do.
suddenly get together as soon as they had feelings for each
Yes.
other. It was something that grew into a relationship. I mean, for a while, like, it was really just Dallas chasing after Allie, and then she
Yeah.
got with Leo and everything like that, and that went wrong. But even after that went wrong, they didn't just immediately
get back
suddenly get back together.
because she
Get
said she
together, I mean.
needed some time,
Mhm.
which is understandable. She just got out of an abusive relationship where she married the dude,
Yeah.
and so we're like, you need some time.
I'm glad
And we
you're taking
feel
that
like,
time.
Yeah, we feel like that's healthy. There's got to be at least one healthy relationship. I know it's high school and it's a time for emotional growth,
Yeah.
but I feel like that's a problem we see. We see that these couples get together out of the blue,
Yes.
and there's these
very
couples
out of the blue.
that make no sense, and they just get together all of a sudden just
And-
because they can.
And what's so weird is there's rarely any time of being single. It's either you're in a relationship, get out of a relationship, and then jump into a relationship a week later, or you're in a relationship, start having feelings for somebody else, and then break up with that person only to get into the relationship with this new person.
Exactly, and
There's no really in-between time, no matter where you spin it, and that bothers us.
that bothers us a lot.
Because I feel like even when that does happen in real life, most people say, dang, that shouldn't be happening. You need to take some time.
Yeah,
And that's what we
exactly.
feel needs to be happening in this show.
Exactly.
I mean, sure, like, there's a certain amount of drama that the writers write for, but
Yeah,
I
so
feel
they
like
need
there are
that, but
other things
there's
that they could be
so much.
expanding on
Yeah.
rather than just
There's-
so-and-so in a relationship with this
Yes,
person and
and-
this person.
Yeah, exactly. And we feel like that's a problem. We feel like another problem about Degrassi relationships is they're so physical,
Yes.
and they're so like really like physical, like heavy on physical. Pretty light. We're just gonna put a little sprinkle of emotional growth in there.
It's like they either get together because they've suddenly had sex and then they discover that they kind of like each other,
Yeah.
or their relationship ends because they have sex and that ruins it.
Yeah,
Like-
something. And you just really see these couples making out and cuddling on couches and stuff.
Rather than
And
we never see
holding
them having
hands.
like conversations.
Yeah,
or,
kind of flirty talking.
like we don't see the commonalities that have drawn these two people together to make them a couple.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm seeing a lot of what you're physically getting. I don't know what you're getting too much emotionally.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
In real life, when you get with somebody, it's because you realize, dang, we have something in common. Mm-hmm. Or if you do get together, like, based off of a hookup that you had, later on, the only way that relationship, if it either doesn't last or the only way the relationship continues is if you guys then start getting to know each other as people. But
you just can't.
It's not a real relationship if all you're doing is hooking up all the time. That's just a scheduled hookup.
Exactly.
Like, I mean,
it's not really a relationship. Another thing we see though is we think that wait, what? Oh, we feel like these people they always become like one person.
Yeah.
It is always like the ships become them.
That's the only way you know the people.
Yeah. It's like a ship. It's not two people. It's one person. And that's weird because they don't exist without each other. And it's like, come on, we need these two separate people, where one likes poetry and one likes movies, and that sounds like Eclair, but I'm not really talking about them. And we don't need this one like.
They shouldn't be defined by their relationship.
Exactly.
They should be in a relationship, but also two separate people, because that's what you want in a real life relationship. You want to exist outside of your relationship, not just with your partner.
Exactly. Which we see a lot in the main part of this video, Triles.
Yeah. Okay. So, everybody ships Triles these days.
Yeah.
And we don't hate, like, these are opinions that we had before we even started this webcast. We're not doing this to be against everybody.
Yeah, to be against the grain or anything.
And when we talk about disliking Triles, we don't even say it in a way like, oh my god, I hate Triles, I hate that they're together, like, I hate Miles, I hate Tristan, da-da-da-da. Like,
we just are slightly confused.
Yes, like we said, we look for things to be very realistic and make sense, something that we would actually see happen in real life. And this we wouldn't have seen coming together as it did in real life. That's our personal opinion.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm just saying, of all the things we just mentioned that we don't like to see in Degrassi relationships, we see the whole checklist in Triles. We see their sudden relationship, that they got together right after Maya and Miles broke up, and they had this really like torrid affair, and they had Mr. Yates and Tristan. That was a thing, and that he had just gotten through with that dude. They got together. There's no single time. There's no personal growth. We didn't see Tristan's emotional toll on essentially having this older man be his first romantic sexual person, and the dude was manipulating the heck out of him.
That's a huge thing for us, because I mean, okay, it'd be one thing if we saw the growth that came from it, that if we saw Tristan deal with it. If you love Tristan, that's great. We don't really have a personal opinion on Tristan because we haven't seen that growth from him as a character. The whole thing with Mr. Yates, right? Yates, it would have been a perfect moment for the Degrassi writers to see, man, this kid just went through something. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see how he emotionally grows from this. It seems as though he got in the relationship, was head over heels, suddenly finds out from Winston that guy was just a creepy guy, and it was suddenly over. You don't get over something like that quick. This was Tristan's first sexual encounter with someone. He had wanted a boyfriend for so long. Like, he had this kind of flirtatious thing with Fab, but it never really became anything. So Mr. Yates was his first experience, and it was based off of Mr. Yates being a predator that had to have had some sort of emotional toll on Tristan, but we don't see that.
He was a manipulator, and it was like that had to have some kind of effect on somebody who just had their first everything, a 15-year-old boy who had their first everything.
Either he hasn't realized it yet, or it just doesn't matter to him. That's what we're getting from the writers, and this has to matter.
And that's not good for Triles. I might not like Triles, but
after this situation, suddenly he was in Triles, and that's all you knew Tristan for. And yes, people still remember what happened with Yates, but at the same time, we're forgetting what kind of emotional toll that should have taken on him.
That's what I'm saying. I might not like Triles, that is in no way a healthy relationship. If Tristan and Miles are going to be in a relationship, I'd rather it be a healthy one where he's not just he has already worked out what happened to him.
From personal experience, when you get together with someone because you're in a time of hurting and you're going through a lot, that isn't going to play out like you want it to. When that person becomes your one and only that you depend on for happiness, that just isn't healthy. Real life, it's not healthy.
It's not.
And that's kind of where they are. Like, Tristan just had this thing that happened with Mr. Grant, not best friends with Mai anymore, hasn't dealt with it, and Miles is obviously going through something with his father that would have happened whether or not he got with Tristan. And the only time when we see them, we just see them cuddling or kissing and stuff like that, talking about very surface things. It wasn't until this past episode that we saw Tristan really get concerned about the weed thing. Yes, he kind of mentioned it before when he happened upon it, but if this is something that everybody else was seeing was going on, and you're spending 90% of your time with Miles, this is something that you should have picked up on if you guys are as head over heels for each other as you appear to be.
As I'm saying, Triles, like so many Degrassi relationships before them, are way more. I see what you're getting physically from this. I see that you're getting a lot physically from this,
and that's fine. Physical things are gonna happen.
Like, you do what you got to do physically because that's a part of a relationship, but you are not getting anything emotionally from this. It does not seem like it.
And both of them really need things emotionally right now. Both of them, like, Tristan's fresh off this Yates thing, and Miles is in the midst of this thing with his dad.
They need some emotional growth from each other.
Yeah, and
I'm not saying they can't get it. We just
either they need to get it from each other right now, or they need to be separate and realize that there is stuff going on.
Get it from somebody, not even romantic somebody. Miles can get it from Frankie and Winston and Hunter, and Tristan can finally talk to his parents. Did his parents even know that he was in a relationship with a 30-something-year-old man?
Mr. Simpson had to have been required to tell his parents, and we didn't see how that played out at all. And that would have been a great way to introduce Tristan's parents to the scene. Like, since we haven't seen them before, they could have either painted them in a I don't care light, or they could have been like, oh my gosh, why haven't we been around? That would have been just a momentous occasion to finally have the reveal of Tristan's parents there. Yes, relationships create drama and good TV, but there are other ways that you can draw people in. Like, I would have loved to see how that played out, and how his parents entered the story, and how this emotionally took a toll on him, and how that all resolved itself. Like, I would be clapping for him in the end when he got through it.
And I feel like that would have helped me become closer to Tristan as a character, because as it is, I don't want to say, but it's kind of like hard to even ship Triles, because I wouldn't say I don't care about either Tristan or Miles as a character, but I'm not a huge fan of, I'm not like, it's not that I don't care about either of them, because I do care about them. I want them both in healthy relationships.
We want them to succeed. We want to see their storylines get healthy.
But we can't say that they're our favorite characters on the show and we love them,
because we don't get to know them.
But I don't even know who
outside of their heart. Like, we don't get to know them outside of their hardships. I don't see. We fall in love with characters personally when we see their personal growth.
Yeah.
When we see how far they've come. The reason that we love the reason that we love Allie, the reason that we love Dallas, the reason that we love Drew is because we've seen just how far they have come from where they were when they were introduced to the story. We've seen that they have made mistakes and learned from them and moved forward, not repeating the same thing over and over. They may repeat it sometimes because nobody's perfect, but they're going to be like, dang, man, I really shouldn't have done that. And they're not making excuses anymore. And that's when we start to love a character.
We've seen them at their worst, we've seen them at their best, and we've seen them everywhere in between. So we just need to get that from Tristan and Miles, I feel like.
Yeah.
We also feel like the other weird thing about Trials is like within the fandom, I feel as though we must have missed
everybody.
The ticket.
We pay very close attention to the TV shows that we watch.
Yeah.
But we missed out.
We must have missed something
On the obviousness.
Everyone seems like it was so obvious and we cannot see it. We saw the first time we ever really saw Trials as a thing was a comment that was made by, shout out to the lovely Amethyst Beloved.
Yes, we wrote a thank you video where we thank people, and thank you to our lovely Amethyst Beloved and others commenters.
Yes.
We really appreciate you. We read every single line of what you post on our videos, everything.
And we love the fan fiction that was made by Amethyst Beloved, and we are the blurb, and we get it. We get that Trials.
If it had played out like that, we would be more in favor. We'd still want to see the personal growth from each of them. We'd still want to see the whole Tristan Mr. Yates thing resolved, but it would just make a lot more sense to us than it does right now.
Yeah.
It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. Instead of treated, we get treated.
So, fandom.
We feel like everybody in the fandom feels as though, Trials is, an obvious thing since, like, the Paris episodes.
Yeah.
It was just, like, written in the stars and everybody could see it.
They kissed, so it was destined to be.
We did not see it that way.
And we pay attention to detail. But maybe we did miss out on something. But
exactly.
From the details that we saw, them kissing in Paris didn't automatically mean that it was fate for them to be together.
Exactly. Miles pulled away from Tristan, and it wasn't in a way
like, oh my God, no homo.
He kissed me. Oh yeah, no homo. I am not homo. No. It was like, I'm not really into you, dude. Sorry. You're a dude. I'm not into it.
Yeah, that's not the vibe that we were getting from it.
Yeah, and so we were very confused. And then I realized a lot of people are, like, pointing out different, like, things throughout the episodes that they saw, little foreshadowing things. We didn't see that either.
We did not pick up on those little I think we read your foreshadowing as a different something, as just a friendship.
Every time I feel like all the times I've heard you people say, like, oh, like, that happens. This is like foreshadowing. I didn't see it as foreshadowing.
And I feel like, because I saw it more as Tristan and Miles were becoming friends because Miles and Maya were together. And that, for some reason, that would make more sense to me because here it is, Miles was fresh, new at this school, doesn't really know anybody. Everybody's friends from all the people in his grade are friends from last year. I'm going to make friends like as much as I can.
Exactly. And even if it isn't him making friends with Tristan through Maya, it was all friendly to us. We saw platonic friends because I didn't see anything Tristan or Miles did for each other that I couldn't see either of them doing for Winston or Zig or Zoe.
And we are the first ones to be like, "Aw, shoot, they about to get together."
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you
snap.
hear a little breath he did when she walked
Jonah
by?
and Becky, Jackie, get ready.
Get ready for Jackie. Or
Yeah.
Jokey. Is that Jokey? That's funny because it's like jokes. But yeah, I can see that happening. It's a thing. I can see. So,
yeah. So I know. If you guys want to point out some details to us,
you go for it.
We will read them. We read every single thing that you guys
Yes.
say, and we will read it. We take it in wholeheartedly, and like, let's just make it clear one more. Let's just set this out in stone. The reason that we are not pro trials is not because we are biphobic, if that is an actual word. We are not biphobic.
We're not homophobic. We're not phobic.
We are people loving people. And us not shipping Triles has zero to do with them being two males. Nothing to do with that.
If it has anything to do with the characters, it has nothing to do with the fact that they're boys. It has to do with the fact that they have not as much character development as they should.
Yeah. That would be our only...
That's our character critique.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the main guys. The relationship critique, we have relationship critiques about all the relationships that we see. So this is not just Trial specific. I know everybody loves Trials right now, so it's very easy to paint a scapegoat. Not that that's what all of you are doing, but I know it's easy to fall victim to that. But we just wanted to clarify our reasons for what we believe as Degrassi watchers.
Yeah.
Like, this is where our opinions come from. It does not come from a place of hate. It does not
comes from a place of confusion.
Yeah, confusion of the writing.
Yeah. And we need them to be better than this. Because we know it can be better than this.
Like, if they grow together, if they pull together and say, man, we got some issues that we got to work out, and then they became a healthy relationship, we would be the first ones on the Trials train. We would be right there. We would be the conductors. Like,
about that ship.
Like, we are for healthy relationships. That's what we ship.
We're for the relationships that make sense.
Mm-hmm.
All the way through. That get what they
need.
And
healthy. Healthy.
Yeah, that get what they need physically as well as emotionally. Because they are not getting what they need emotionally right now.
All they do is sex and leave.
Yeah. So, thank you a lot.
Yeah, the reason this video looks a little bit different is because we had to switch to my laptop because my battery in my camera was exhausted.
Yeah. Exhausted.
And it's actually really weird seeing ourselves while we're recording.
Yeah, we never watch
I keep looking myself in the eyes as if I'm trying to have a staring contest.
I mean to look at the camera, but I look at myself.
Yeah, I just have this like point and shoot, so we don't even see ourselves until like after when I'm editing. So
yeah.
But I think the video looks pretty good.
But thanks for listening to us, guys.
Smooth skin.
I hope that we clarified everything that we needed to clarify. Yeah. It was a clarification video.
Love yous.
Thanks. Like, share, subscribe, talk about it.
Live like you're dying.
So yeah, this was Degrassi Authority. Thanks for listening. This was fun. Bye.